Today, I'm going to be breaking down one of my go-to strategies for catching early moves on Bitcoin or any asset for that matter. And it's built around a simple RSI trendline trick that most people completely overlook. I've tested this setup over 100 times and consistently hit above 70% win rate. It's clean, it's simple, and it's super easy to follow. For this strategy, all you're going to need is 3 indicators: the RSI, an EMA, and the ATR. That is it. It is basic, clear, and perfect if you are brand new to this. So here's how it works. And we're actually not going to start on the chart. We're going to start with the RSI. And if you don't know where to find it, you can click here on TradingView, and under indicators, you type in RSI, and it should pop up as relative strength index. Now, once you've selected the RSI, you're going to see it pop up down here below the chart. And what I want you to do first off is I want you to go into the settings by double clicking on one of the lines. So you can pull up the settings here. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to unclick the second button or the second check mark here under inputs so you can remove that second line there. And I just want you to keep just the RSI by itself. And you can click into the actual line itself. You can change the thickness or the color. I go a little thicker just so it stands out a little bit more for me. Now, I'd like to pull up the RSI by itself so we can look a little bit closer at this example. In order to do that, you want to double click on the box here. So you just pull it up by itself and remove the chart. The next thing I'd like you to do is try and find a diagonal trend line, which you could come over here to the top left corner and you can select this particular trend line. And what you want to do is you want to connect as many of these tops as possible and get at least 3 tops to connect. And as you can see, we got 1 here, we got 2 here, and then we had a third one right here. And so that should be enough for us to draw a diagonal trend line. Now for the second step, I'm gonna need to pull up an EMA, which in this case, I'm gonna pull up a 200 EMA. But first, in order to find them, I'm gonna type in EMA in the indicator, and I'm gonna click this once to pull up the EMA. Now by default, TradingView is actually gonna give you a 9 EMA. Now I want you to double click into that because I want you to change this. And in order to change it, I want you to go to inputs and I want you to change the length to 200 and then go ahead and click OK. Now that you have your 200 EMA already set, the rule is that the price action needs to remain above the 200 EMA while the breakout on the RSI here of the trend line is occurring. Okay, so now that we have our 200 EMA, we have our trend line set over here on the RSI, you could also set the trend line on the chart for posterity just so they match up, right? And now this is the point in time where most traders are gonna tell you to come over and you're gonna grab one of these and you're going to click here and you're going to go 2-to-1 risk to reward, something like that, right? And then you're going to put your stop loss on this line and then you're going to take your profit right here. This is where I differ from other traders, is that I don't use some of the traditional stuff that they use. I would much rather use the RSI to determine when to exit. So as soon as it gets above this level, or at least taps this level, which is at the 70% level, that's when I will exit my trade. And also, I'm not going to use this to determine where I'm going to set my stop loss. I'd rather use an indicator that uses the average true range of the chart, which is a topic in and itself. I'm not going to get really too into it. And if you want, you can grab an indicator that I think would help immensely with setting stop losses, and it's called the ATR Stop Loss Finder by Very ID. So that's the one that I use. So go ahead and click it. And what it's going to do is it's going to, similar to like a Bollinger Band, it's going to give you the average true range of where the chart has actually been going and predicted to go here in the near future. So it's giving you a safe distance to put a stop loss. So I would put my stop loss right here, which actually coincides very closely to this 2-to-1 ratio measurement here, right? So all that being said, let's see how this manifests. So I'm gonna go ahead and press play. And as you can see, we touched right there. We touched the top of the RSI right here. You can see it peaked out just above 70. That's where I would have taken profit. And if you'd rather skip all of that, just copy trade me, hop into the Telegram. Link is in the description. Keep your trades tight, your vibes high, and try not to get wrecked.